What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. I'm bringing you something Esben style. I'm bringing you something crazy cool. I better have a. I do. I have a tape measure out here. I'm bringing you something from Ultimate Knife Search channel. So if you go to Ultimate Knife Search channel, you're gonna find this knife. It's called the Raven. It was designed by Esben, Ultimate Knife Search channel guy, right? The Viking. So he designed this and had it made by the Khukuri house. Now a lot of people, Khukuri, well, is it any good? Is it any good? He took this knife with this edge that's on here right now. He took this knife and he did something I don't do with mine because every D-bad knife I get is a prototype, right? He takes this knife and he takes a frying pan and starts stabbing this frying pan. Then he starts hitting this frying pan. Then he took a baton and he batoned in half a frying pan with this knife. KHHI, the Khukuri house. If you're ever wondering how the Khukuri house makes their knives, he took this knife made from the Khukuri house, heat treated by the Khukuri house, and he cut a frying pan in half. Enough said. So all the Wambulance people can just shut your mouths. Go to his video. Actually, I'll link his video below. But yeah, I'm not going to be chopping any frying pans with this. This is his knife. I'm not going to do it. If you want to see it, it's already been done. So he designed this, and it was to honor his Viking heritage and, Odin, right? And first, let's take a look at this sheath. See this little notch right here? This sheath is so well done. This is all Khukuri house right here. They are just everything they do, it's just handmade, right? And what they do with their sheaths, they don't make a bin of sheaths and throw them in and then make the knives and then put them together. Every time they make a knife, they make the sheath for that exact knife. Why? Because they are handmade. Handmade, everything's going to have a little bit of discrepancy. So if you take a bunch of universal stuff, it's never going to fit. So every sheath they do is handmade for that particular handmade knife. It's one of the really cool things about them. Gotta love that. So they, like normal, they put on the leg strap on the rear, which is awesome. It's double strapped. That little cutout is just great. They have the loop up here and the big belt loop. Let's get into his creation. Now, Odin, right, the god, Odin, used to keep two ravens. This is why he called it the Raven. This is why it's colored black. And this is why this is shaped like a raven's head. So this is not the eye of the raven. This is a lashing point. So he can spear it. Boop, boop, boop. Not spirit as in my soul left my body, but he can turn it into a spear. And in his video, he did that as well. The big ring here. Now, I am not a fan of ringed knives that are intentionally made to be ring knives. Not all. There's some that are really good. But this is not intended to be a stick your finger in it and use it as a ring knife. No. This is a Viking thing. The single eye, if you know anything about Odin wore a patch because he had one eye. So this is supposed to represent the single eye of Odin. So it's just a really classy touch that he did. A lot of old Viking axes, swords, knives had an eye of Odin hole in them, and that's what it was for, is to pay homage to Odin. He did a flat pommel, so he has a hammer end. He did this ramp. It's actually a double ramp, double thumb ramp, so you could choose how you want to hold the knife when you're using it. Right here is not sharpened, but it's sharpened. It's like semi-sharpened. It's not razor sharp, right? I could do that to it and not cut my thumb off. But it's sharp enough to where it's made for striking ferro rods. You can grind away tree bark off of limbs so you can start to process things like that. It's really, really handy to have that when you're talking about a camp knife. And this is a camp sax, right? You can see it as sax style, but it is also made, obviously, with camp intentions, especially with that saber grind on there. And even with that, look at this tip. Now, this is 8 millimeters thick. I believe it's 5160, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But let's see. We are looking at 14 1/4 overall with a 8.5 inch blade. And it's really nice. Now, he designed this for him. So for me, my hands are a little big to where you can see my fingers don't really fit. They're kind of pinched in there. So trying to get my hand in there, that's pretty tight for me. It doesn't really fit my hand. But again, this was designed by Esben for Esben, right? He didn't design this as I'm going to design this piece that's a production piece. He designed this for him. So this matches his hand size. Now I know how big his hands are. For me, this is really comfortable at 3 fingers, right? If I didn't have a pinky, this knife would be super comfortable. But it's almost like the Case XX. I can put my hand in there and then just turn the knife, and I can now hold it by using below the knuckles. I can do that. I can't hold it like a regular knife because it just squishes the crap out of me. So it's just a little too small. But again, it's made for him. By turning the knife, I can fit the small area. I can fit this part of my hand. I just can't fit this part of my hand in there. So it works out, especially if I'm using my thumb up here anyway, then it doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about that. So while the size is not going to be in every guy's size, it's his size. And I guarantee it fits him perfect. So I have to say that said, if I put my fingers like this, just at the tips, and it'll fit my fingertips right there. And I can tell by where it fits if my hand was smaller, because right here you see it's on here and here at the same time. If I put it in there, my hand is all the way over the blade if I tried to grip this thing properly, or it's way up there if I tried to grip it properly, and that's just not going to work. But it would be crazy comfortable if my hands were smaller. It would be really comfortable. But we're still going to be able to use it. I'm just going to have to manipulate the hold, and we can work it. So there's not much I want to say. Now, I don't know how he does his balances. The balance, I measured the mean, and it's only like a 1/2 inch off. So if he's not balancing, like mathematically balancing the mean, to be less than a 1/2 inch off, he came really close to perfect balance on this thing. It's nice. It's really nice. All right, so let's take it out and smash with it. So today, here in Massachusetts, it's that, spring forward thing with the clocks and da-da-da-da-da. And we got a really nice day for it. We got a nice day for it. It's not so bad out here. So what I want to do first, leave a little stick right there to play with. I want to show you this thing in the light, nice and proper. As far as the design is concerned, I think he killed it. I really like it. I love that he went 8mm on it. I just really, really enjoy what he did and how he did in the design. I think he did a great job. And I think Khukuri House did a great job because I seen his video. And like I said, I am not cutting a frying pan in half, but it did it. And that tells me that I could probably take my war machine and go cut a frying pan in half, but I'm not going to do it. No way, no how. All right, so let's do some 4-foot drops. We'll check that gravity bite. Boop. Oh, it's a good looking knife, man. It's really a good looking knife. Boop. Oh, it makes me not be able to wait. I can't wait to do my sacks. Let's do some hard downward throws. Oh, wow. That goes in there. That, you can see that line right there. That's not so bad, man. A big fat, oh, look at that. I missed, and I put a hole in the wheelbarrow. That's crazy. That wheelbarrow is no joke. It's made to be able to have things literally smashing into it, and I just cut a hole in it on accident. That's crazy. All right, so now, not only is this edge used, it was used by Pistol Pete. Check out his channel as well. But it cut a frying pan in half. So it's not fair to do edge tests, but we're going to. Ugh. So it's not a push cut edge right now, but can I get through after a knife went through a frying pan, can I go through a 1/2 inch of nylon rope? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do a little bam. That was super solid. Check the edge. Let me make sure there's no damage, because this is way worse than a frying pan. All right, so man, I'm holding it down here, so my hand fits a little better. I'm just gonna wrap around the ring, but B, it creates this really sweet leverage, and I'm able to get pretty good strikes with it like that. Golly, it's nice. That's nice. Esmond, you did a great job, man. Golly. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, let's take this thing with all the knots in it. This is a pretty knotty piece. I'm starting to have some pretty good faith in this knife here. Let's see. Ugh. All right. The wood isn't very good, but it gets good around the knots. You can see it's trying to push it around them. All right, let's see. I can't believe he batoned a frying pan. Now we're in these knots. That's a good hard knot right there. Oh man. All right, so we got this pretty sweet swedged piece. Let's debark. I didn't bring out the ferro rod, but believe me, it's beyond 90. You'll strike a ferro rod. So not only can I debark, but I can actually get some feathers with it as well. Of course, that's what that beautiful edge is going to be for. Look at this, man. Frying pan went in half and it's feather sticking. Let's try. Ooh, I was going to put my thumb on there. Let's try and see if we can't feather with the actual swedge. And we can. So even if you didn't want to ruin your edge, which apparently takes a lot on the Khukuri House knives, you can do that with that. Man, this thing's pretty. I mean, this is typical Khukuri House right here. This is, you watch my videos when I get my new ones in and I beat them on the same way. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna take it out and start hitting things, and I don't have an imperfection in any of my knives. Right now, as a matter of fact, my D-Bad Commando knife is in Florida with scab. So that's how much I trust my knife. My knife is, I'm sending it to scab to play with. And no, I don't send them. And I have these two trolls. Oh, send your prototype knife to Joe X. First of all, I don't support that. Garbage. I would only send my knife to an actual knife guy. And that's it for that. So, and I know Scab's going to test it hard. He's going to test it like a knife. It's not a sledgehammer. Why treat it like one? All right. Man, I'm finding more and more reasons to like this thing. I'll tell you what, if I added a 1/2 inch in that grip, I would freaking love this thing. I would love it. All right, let's see. We got this big dangling piece here. Let's get a couple of those out of the way. Oh, you're not even in the shot. A dangling branch. Ba-boom. Ba-boom. Gosh, I love it. I love it. Now I'm going to try and throw it. Obviously, this is not my knife. I've never practiced with it. I've never even thrown it one time. Oh, it was there. I think that's the right distance. I think I'm there. The problem is the ring. That ring makes it really hard to throw. Oh, it's so there. Sorry, Esmond. All right, so I don't want to keep throwing his knife, but we're going to try again because that ring is just... Oh, I got to back up. That's the problem. I got to back up because it's a beast. I'm on the edge. Like, I keep hitting it here. I just need it to turn a little bit more. This ring is really terrible for throwing. Yeah. Well, it's stuck in the ground. All right, so this knife is hard to throw. This is hard. Trying to grab that ring, what's happening is it makes you flick it, and it gives an improper release off the hand. Ugh. That's tough. So what we'll do is we'll do a half. There we go. So by doing a half throw, which means throwing it from the blade instead of through the grip. Oh, that was on the tip. I think I just hit a soft piece of wood. It's going to be a lot easier. Back up. There we go. So, yeah, throwing it from the blade would be a lot better than throwing it from the Eye of Odin, because he's watching apparently and did not like me throwing it. So we won't throw it anymore. But yeah, it's actually possible to throw it from the blade itself, which is good. Which is good. All right. All right. There we go. That's a nice hard piece of wood right there. Ugh. I'm just gonna keep chipping away at it. Man, I really like this. I really like this. This is sweet, man. This is sweet. So yeah, ultimate knife search. I think he did a great job on this one. I think he did a great job on this one. This knife is pretty sweet. A little bit bigger, and man, I'd be having a fun. Not bigger in the blade, but a little bigger in the grip, and I would be having some crazy fun grabbing onto this. This is nice, man. This is really nice. So, man, what do I think about that? I think he absolutely killed the design. I think he did a great job. This knife is fun to play with. I get to send it down to Scab next. He gets to play with it, and it's going to have a little bit more fun before it makes it all the way back to Scandinavia. So, that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.